Welcome back, 9:33. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday morning. One person has died and another is injured following a tragic small plane crash near Stave Lake yesterday evening. Just before 6 p.m. yesterday, Mission RCMP got a call from the International Emergency Response Center about a small plane that crashed on an abandoned airstrip near Stave Lake. When officers arrived on scene, they found a 21-year-old woman had been injured and a 66-year-old woman who had died. The cause of the crash is being investigated by the Transportation Safety Board. A 41-year-old man has died after being stabbed near St. Paul's Hospital last night. Police say this happened around 8:30 near Thurlow and Comox Streets. No arrests have been made. Investigators believe this was targeted. This is Vancouver's 9th homicide of the year. The Vancouver Park Board has voted in favor of a pilot project that would let you consume alcohol in select green spaces around the city. Before a start date can be announced, the board says the province needs to amend legislation. The board has also directed staff to apply for licenses so concessions near chosen parks can look at selling beer and cider. Some of the parks include David Lamb, Queen Elizabeth, and 2 sections of Stanley Park. The province recorded 81 new COVID-19 cases over the weekend, including 15 in an outbreak at a blueberry plant in Abbotsford. The cases at Fraser Valley Packers were identified on Thursday. 2 more people have died at long-term care homes in the Vancouver Coastal Health Region. There has been an additional case, a resident on Haida Gwaii, where an outbreak was declared last week. Dr. Bonnie Henry amended the order on mass gatherings as well as limiting the number of people in short-term rentals to 5.
So this is to get at what we were seeing happening in various places around the province where there were people having parties in their rental suites or their houses or on boats where there was groups of people. And we know that that was an area where this virus has been transmitted.
BC Premier John Horgan says going back to school will require flexibility. He says he understands there is anxiety about BC's plans for school in the fall.
This is unprecedented for all of us. We've never gone into a summer of a pandemic. We've never come out of a summer of a pandemic. So we're doing our level best to make sure we're listening, being attentive to the needs of the broader community within the K-12 system. And I'm not surprised there's anxiety. We're doing our level best to lower that anxiety.
Horgan says plans will be adapted weekly, depending on different circumstances of cases and staffing. More details about the return to school in September will be released tomorrow. Ottawa appears to have relaxed restrictions at the Canada-U.S. border for first-year university students from the U.S. to enter Canada. Students coming from the U.S. no longer need a study permit issued on or before March 18th, the day the border restrictions were first announced. That requirement had parents of many American students complaining, saying it would be impossible for their kids to get into Canada to begin studies this fall. Immigration Canada now says border officers will instead accept a port of entry letter of introduction. The exception, however, only applies to students from the U.S. Other international students are still bound by the March 18th restriction. Well, have you decided whether or not to send your kids back to class? According to a new poll, many parents in BC still have not made up their minds. About 4 in 10 say their kids are going back, but almost half are still not sure. That could be because the province still has not released an official plan. Those details are expected as early as tomorrow. The latest polling from Leger also finds most moms and dads would like to see daily temperature checks for kids and face coverings worn by teachers. An update to a story City News brought to you over the weekend about the stolen teddy bear in downtown Vancouver. A security video shows a man stealing a backpack from a back alley in the West End last Friday. That backpack was full of valuable items, including a Vancouver woman's passport, her checkbook, some electronics, and a teddy bear. Mara Serrano's mother gave her the bear before she died in June of last year. If you squeeze its paw, a special recording from her late mother can be heard. The story has gained international attention from celebrities and the media.
I just want my bear back. Like, I don't care about anything else in that bag. just want the bear. She gave me this teddy bear for Christmas that said that she loved me, she was proud of me, and she's always with me, because I moved away to Vancouver. My whole family is in Toronto, and so it was the only thing I had of hers that was just for me. So the message said, I love you, I'm proud of you, I'll always be with you.
Anyone with information is asked to contact police. BC Place showing its pride last night. The dome lights turned into a rainbow show and lit up the nighttime sky. A colorful display taking over False Creek for a time last night. In baseball, the Toronto Blue Jays had a strong effort against the Washington Nationals last night. The Jays hit 4 home runs and they never trailed thanks to some solid pitching. Toronto would go on to beat the Nationals 4-1. The two teams play again today at 3 p.m. on Sportsnet. A major cloud is hanging over the season for the Miami Marlins. At least 13 members of the club, including 11 players, have tested positive for COVID-19. The team's home opener against Baltimore was called off last night, as well as the New York Yankees game in Philadelphia. The Yankees were in the same clubhouse the Marlins used last weekend. Now, all of this could potentially affect the Blue Jays as well. The Jays are scheduled to begin a 3-game series in Philly on Friday. Well, hockey is back. The NHL will look a little different in the hub cities of Toronto and Edmonton. Greg Harper joins us live in Port Moody with more. Good morning.
Good morning, Mary. Well, as baseball struggles with COVID-19 right now, the NHL season resumes. It's been a long wait for hockey fans, over 4 months with no new NHL games on TV, but this wait is now over. The season does resume today with 3 exhibition games. The first one is Pittsburgh versus Philadelphia. This is at 1 o'clock this afternoon, and then Toronto is taking on Montreal at 5, and Edmonton is taking on Calgary at 7:30. Those 2 games are on Sportsnet. But what will these games look like? The NHL says they will look different, of course, and we know that the league has added 12 additional cameras. They're able to do this because there are no fans that will be inside the rink. They will be pumping in crowd noise over the speakers like Major League Baseball is doing right now. They may play with the level there and see how that is received by NHL players. But as hockey fans know, crowd noise can be huge, especially for the home team. There will be music as well between face-offs. It will be interesting to see what these games look like on TV.
Well, I'm happy that they're coming back. At least we got something to watch because we're Canadians, right? We love hockey, right? So hockey's in our blood.
I think it's generally good, and I think the NHL has done it right with the this bubble concept.
I think people need some entertainment. People are going out and getting together, and we're not really supposed to be, so perhaps it'll keep people more in. I do think, as far as the fans not being there for the players, I think they might be more affected than the people watching, because a lot of people are used to just watching it on TV anyway.
What does it look like? Well, nobody really knows. We do have an idea of what the rinks will look like, but what in-game broadcasts look like with no fans, that's a total unknown that we'll be able to watch on Sportsnet tonight. And one thing I think the NHL is looking to hit a home run with. They want to show some personality with players, bring some different things into an NHL broadcast that we wouldn't normally see. And that's one of the main things to watch for here as the exhibition games start.
Canucks fans will have to wait one more day. The Canucks are taking on Winnipeg and Edmonton tomorrow. It's an exhibition game as well. It starts at 7:30, and you can catch that on Sportsnet as well. I know I'll be watching, and I can't wait to see what it looks like and what it sounds like too. Mary?
It'll be interesting for sure. The new normal, as they say. All right, thank you so much, Greg Harper. That's Greg Harper reporting in Port Moody for us this morning. Always something interesting going on at Surrey City Hall. A car rally hit up City Hall last night. What protesters want mayor and council to reconsider? That's next.